Ben Shapiro, a.k.a. Squeaky Benjamin Shapiro, he lost it on workers who are still out there during the pandemic doing their thing. He's not happy with the workers who are demanding more.
Okay, the fact is that striking in a time of pandemic, not because of bad worker pay, but because you just want more money. I'm sorry, everyone else lost their job. Everyone else lost their damn job. Okay, like, if I were Amazon and I had the capacity, I'd fire everybody who strikes right now, and I'd bring in workers who are willing to work. I would, because it's unconscionable. The reason I say it's unconscionable is not only are you depriving people of the supply lines that are keeping the country running right now, not only that, but Amazon offered you additional benefits already. This is not you're striking because Amazon's forcing you to go to work. On March 31st, today, Whole Foods employees are going to call in sick to demand paid leave for all workers who stay home or self-quarantine during the crisis. Free coronavirus testing for all employees. Hazard pay. Here's the big one. Hazard pay of double the current hourly wage for employees who show up to work during the pandemic. You want your pay doubled just for showing up to work while everyone else in the country is out of work? I'm sorry. No. You want to talk? It's funny. Everybody is happy to talk about people in the speculative market buying up coronavirus masks and then trying to sell them for $1,000 on eBay. This is the same damn thing. You're asking for double pay in the midst of a pandemic because you know that those employees are necessary in order to make sure that the old people get their food.
He almost got it there. He almost got it. You heard him say it at the end. I didn't say it. He said it. They're necessary. These workers are necessary. Right. They're necessary. Are price gougers necessary? No, price gougers are not at all necessary. Not at all. But the workers are necessary. You almost got it. You almost got it, Ben. Now take it a step further here. If the workers are necessary, okay, but Ben doesn't like how the workers are treating the owners. But you just said the workers are necessary. So in this equation, who takes precedent? Well, by definition, the people who are necessary take precedent over the ones who are unnecessary. So, interesting. The workers are necessary. The owners not so much. They're expendable. So, I mean, the only way Ben can get out of this conundrum is to say something along the lines of, all right, fine. So if you think it's necessary, if you're necessary, and I don't like how you're treating the owners, what do you want me to tell you? Fine, you guys run the business then. If you think you're so smart, you guys run the business. Right, yeah, that's what leftists are saying. Maybe the people who work in the factory should own the factory. That's it. It's actually not that extreme. It's called a worker-owned co-op. There's plenty of examples of it in the past and then around the world today. And it's not... That's what's called market socialism. And another way of describing it is democracy in the workplace. That's it. There is no rigid hierarchy of the business where you have the owner who's like the emperor, then you have the manager who's like the dictator who gets to run the show, then you have the workers underneath them and they have to follow the orders of their masters, their higher ups. You know, you could easily have a system where everybody co-owns the factory who works in the factory. And so you all make decisions together. You all make decisions collectively. And if Ben is admitting, and he did there, that these workers are necessary, got to keep the supply chains up and running. Okay, so if the workers are necessary and the owners are not, or certainly the workers are more necessary than the owners are, you can get mad at them and say, fine, if you think this is so easy, then you guys run the show. Right, okay, that's what they want. That's effectively what, left-wing movements are asking for. I mean, and then the compromise position, the meeting halfway position is, fine, let's have organized labor negotiate with the owner class. So if workers band together and act together and negotiate for better terms all together, well, then they have some leverage in the relationship. So it's funny because there's so many moments in that rant where it's like, he almost gets it, and then he doesn't, and he falls short. So, the other thing is a lot of these protests that are happening now in various businesses around the country, they're first and foremost asking for protection. There's a big story that just broke about the Amazon in Staten Island. And there's a guy who was sounding the alarm and warning everybody, hey, we have somebody that has coronavirus here. And they kept acting like nothing was wrong and telling people to show up. And they didn't give them the protective gear that they need. So if there was ever a noble protest, it's, oh my God, we're being forced to work in a pandemic and we don't have the protection that we need, which means a lot more of us will get sick. So I don't know about you, but I don't really want to, as Ply said, I don't want to risk my life for no $9 an hour. And so they're getting together and saying, we have to change this. We have to demand that we get the protective gear from our owners. And that's the least that they could do. And Ben, they want more money because in this environment, they're quite literally risking their lives. I mean, if you work on a holiday, they give you time and a half. So you're telling me during a pandemic, they can't get double pay? I think that's super reasonable. If somebody's getting paid $15 an hour during a pandemic where they're risking their life for showing up to work, yeah, they should get $30 an hour. And before Ben tries to flip this around and say, yeah, but the owners can't afford it, the people who are still working in the particular businesses that we're talking about here, they're getting a surge in business. Amazon is getting a surge in business. The grocery stores are getting a surge in business. So they can afford it. They decidedly can afford it. Business is better for them than it's been for years. It's like saying the toilet paper industry can't afford it right now, or the Lysol industry can't afford it right now, or Clorox. These are like the only industries that can afford it right now. People are risking their lives. If you think somebody's should risk their life for $9 an hour, man, you're even more loathsome than I thought. So, he was close, man. Ben was so close, but he came up short. He did say it. He said, they're necessary, these workers. Right! That's their point. Their point is we're necessary, so we deserve dignity. We're necessary, so pay us more in a pandemic. They can afford it. We're necessary, so make sure we have protection. Is that really that much? No, that's not asking too much. And if Ben wants to get all mad at them and huffy and say they're necessary and they're essential, but I'm mad at them and they shouldn't be doing that. Okay, well, there's a very simple solution to this, Ben. Let the workers run their own business. Let them run their own business. That would be a worker-owned co-op. That's the left-wing answer. And I think that if the workers were their own boss and there was democracy in the workplace, I'm pretty sure they would get a raise to the extent that the businesses can afford it. They would get a raise. They would share in the profits more, and I'm pretty sure they would do everything they could to get that protective gear. But when you have a disconnected owner who lives somewhere in a mansion and he's social distancing and quarantining with his family, with his pool in the backyard and the tennis court and all that stuff, he's a little too disconnected from the workforce to really care about what they're going through or really understand their sacrifice and their struggle. So, listen, I think they're being totally reasonable. And Ben admits that they're necessary. So, okay, if they're necessary, the owners can either step aside and let the workers run the business, or you can make a deal.